Okay, so I'm excited to have you on, sis.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you were 2 hours late, but we won't go into too much depth about that.
You're not
Um,
surprised, are you?
no, I'm not.
Okay, good.
No,
Good.
no, I blocked out my
I
whole
haven't
day for
changed.
this. It's great. You had to change?
No, I haven't changed.
Oh, you haven't
No.
changed. I love it. But okay, so I'm gonna tell everybody about your business. You do lashes. I don't even know what
Right,
goes
you don't
into
even know the
that,
name
but
of my
no,
business.
it's Fort Worth Lash, right?
I own Lash Fort Worth.
Yeah,
This year will be my 12th year in business.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. So let's just start with that.
Okay.
You've been my sister my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have different dads, same moms, but I mean, you're pretty much my blood sister.
I've never considered any of you guys half,
Yeah, it's because
so you should
it's,
stop saying that.
well, yeah, but I mean, I'm just, reality is it's half, but we're not. Like, we're
Yeah.
biological, like,
All
for,
we got.
yeah. Yep, we're in this together
Yeah,
to
literally.
the end.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot together. And one thing I wanted to talk about is the transition from Texas or from California to Texas. And we haven't even chatted about this, so I think it's going to be
Ever?
cool. I mean, not really. Like, we haven't really talked in depth about how we felt,
Right, right.
I want to know, and I literally sat there and I was like, I want to ask so many questions because I don't know. And so, before we get to your business, when we were in California,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was born, do you remember exactly how life was? Like, when do you start really remembering, like, life?
So I was just recently thinking about stuff like this because I have Sky, and she's 5, and I try and think about what all does she really gonna remember. I would say about 4 years old. Like I remember you being a baby,
Yeah.
like a tiny baby.
And that's when you start remembering things?
I feel like 4 or 5.
So you were 4 and I was just born?
Yeah.
So 1986. So you're born in
82.
82. Okay, 86, yeah. I couldn't do the math. But so tell me what it was like. Do you remember?
Like my childhood.
Yeah, like so with mom, like were you at grandma's house then? Do you remember?
Yeah, we always lived in the house in Newark. My childhood, I wouldn't say that it was bad. I would say my bad years started when I was a teenager. But from the time I could remember, it was always grandma, doing all of the things, getting me ready for school, cooking, going to all of the school events.
And that's when I was little, when I was like a
Yes.
baby.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it was a bad childhood per se. I mean, I had so much fun.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a bad childhood, but tell me about it. Like, what do you remember? Like,
Just
what are
like
some of the
riding my bike.
highlights?
I don't know. Shit, riding my bike,
Yeah. But I mean,
playing with dolls.
yeah, in
It
grandma's
was
house,
pretty
right?
normal. I mean, like it's what you would imagine any child's childhood to be like because regardless of like the circumstance around, you only know what you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, what was the circumstance around?
Mom just wasn't there, but it was grandma, so it's like you can't really. I wouldn't say that I missed having mom there when I was super young. So, what do you want to know?
Well,
Like exactly.
like what life was like. I literally have never asked you this. So if it was just a normal childhood, and mom wasn't there a lot, how old was she? Was she
Mom had me when she was 20.
20? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just like, I had my oldest when I was 21. I mean, I was out on the weekends, so I feel like it was just mom being a young mom,
Yeah.
you know.
Nothing sticks out like something that, part of childhood when I was a baby and something happened, like.
When mom fell down the stairs and broke her leg.
So I was gonna bring. That's so funny. I was thinking of that. I remember. So as far back as I can remember, just being upstairs in grandma's house, and I can remember she had ordered pizza once, and I don't know if this was the same night, but there's pizza, and then somehow we fell down the stairs, and she was holding me, right?
Yeah, she was walking down and slipped.
And were you there?
Uh-huh.
You remember it?
Yeah. I also remember whenever you fell out of the car.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Damn,
that?
man. Shit. People just,
That's what's wrong.
yeah.
But I guess at my brain at that age, I wasn't necessarily not paying attention to you because you were like a little baby doll to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I was paying attention.
Yeah.
But we were okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was nothing I guess nothing really sticks out.
Yeah. It was
I
just
played
a normal
outside a lot.
childhood.
Yeah. It was like the good old days. Like what we see now, kids rarely go outside. I feel like we had the good old days.
Yeah.
You know, when it was safe to just be outside.
Yeah. And you had the neighbors as friends?
Oh, yeah. I still keep in touch with them.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Which one? The one on two houses
Michelle.
down? 2 houses
The
down?
Hannafins.
Yeah.
And then Anasha
Okay.
and her sister.
And you went to music? Mm-hmm. Do you remember it?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
You know what I was thinking recently? Because in California, you know, they did the earthquake drills.
Yep.
And every year they would have us like, and this was so exciting to me, like as a little chubby kid, but they would have us like bring stuff like non-perishables for like an emergency, like in case we were like stuck under the rubble and we were going to go like siphon out this food. And I was thinking, I was like, where the fuck are my boxes?
Yeah.
They never gave them back. My snacks.
That's so funny.
I do think about that sometimes.
It's so crazy. I mean, it's so different from, I remember, like, I don't want to get to it right away, but the differences between California and Texas.
So different.
So different.
It was such culture shock moving here.
Yeah. I mean, in a good way, right?
Yeah, but like I specifically remember my first day because I moved here the summer before 8th grade. Mm-hmm. And California was more stylish, you know, more fashion forward. And so I had on this skirt that was like a clueless skirt. And obviously I probably had no business wearing this whole outfit, but I thought I was so cute. It was like this skirt, and then I wore these wedge boots. I don't know what you would call them now, but and it was right when Selena had died.
Okay.
Like I was starting school like that next quarter or something.
95.
Yeah. And remember back then we had binders and they had like the clear pocket and you could like put whatever you wanted, like magazine clippings.
Yeah.
So mine was all decorated with Selena shit.
Yeah.
And then, but of course, like I look white, and so I go to school and like there's a lot of preppy kids and they're like wearing like Adidas wind pants and like one of those really tall socks that come up to your calf. Mm-hmm. Those, and it was just like they were totally dressed down compared to what I was used to in California.
Yeah.
And I was so embarrassed. And the only people that would talk to me were the Mexican girls because I had that Selena on my binder.
So I mean, that stands out. Like it was so, at the time.
Yeah. That was like a core memory.
Yeah.
And I didn't have friends for a minute.
Yeah. What school did you go to?
Calhoun.
You went to Calhoun?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's rough. That was a rough.
But see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But coming from California where it's like nothing but gangbanging.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't weird to me.
Yeah. And because I was in McNair, so I was 4th grade, and it was like we went from having bars on the windows at school
right.
to, you know, and everything was outside. So you go out the classroom, the hallways are outside.
Yeah.
In California.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Texas, everything was inside. Yeah. And I think it was new. And then there was fucking
McNair
cows in the pasture behind the school. We didn't have any of that. And I can remember like a storm coming in and the lunch boxes like flying around outside. And I mean, it was just so.
Why were the lunch boxes outside?
I don't know.
Wait, where? What school?
McNair. So it was 4th grade, and we had, for whatever reason, we had our lunch boxes outside. I don't know if we took them and went straight to lunch after our recess or whatever. But I just remember the storm coming, and it's just like cows mooing in the background. There's thunder. And I mean, I loved it because it was so different.
Because you love weather, too.
Well, yeah. I think, I don't know why I loved weather. I like to think deep into things. Like there has to be a reason why. And I don't know if it was because it was such a big transition in our lives, like moving from one place to another, that my mind got onto something like weather tornadoes. I became obsessed with it. I think I have some OCD tendencies from grandma, and I can get obsessed with things. And at a young age, that change in our childhood and lifestyle, I think, probably played into that. I don't even know.
Just found something to grasp onto.
Yep. And with weather, I remember because we came out here in 1994 before we moved out here to visit for, I think, 3 weeks or 2 weeks. And I remember coming out here and the storms were, Auntie Sheila and us, we would sit in Grandma's garage and watch the lightning.
Yeah.
And then, I'm 8. You're 4 years older than me?
I was
5?
12.
12. And to see just the differences in being in Denton was very country. And then we went from like the city to country. Storms are crazy. I mean, it was just, for my little mind, I was only 8.
Yeah.
I had only been on this earth 8 years. And so seeing that is just it was such a shock, like you just said. But it was great. Like, I look at it as like good memories. I think coming out to Texas was the best thing that could have happened. I'm speaking for myself, but I would like to say for both of us,
definitely.
for the family. And, none of us have been perfect, but I think about if I would have stayed in California, like, I don't know what would have happened. And it just, if I think back about how I was as a kid, like, I literally can't remember how I acted. Like, my personality, I can't remember.
You were always so busy and a
ADHD.
little bit annoying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But back then, Mom used to say, "Oh, he's bouncing off the wall."
Yeah.
That was like what we knew about David. David's always bouncing off the wall.
Yep.
But, back then they didn't really test for that.
Yeah.
You for sure had it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that until Alex had it.
Oh.
And I'm like, holy shit, I think my crazy ass has it too. So, but, I think a lot of kids had it. Had it.
Yeah.
And they just didn't test for it.
See, I know that I have it, but I've taken Adderall before, and I just can't.
Yeah.
Like, I can't mentally parent and focus
It's
at the same time.
bad for you.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And I'm prescribed 2 a day. I only take 1 a day.
Yeah.
And I only take it, I take 1 a day, and the only time I ever take, I'll take a half of the second dose on days that I have a lot of work. And it helps. It does help. It does help. But if I ever take my full dose, I feel the unhealthiness to it.
You get irritated?
Well, that is a side effect, but when you can just kind of feel like something's unhealthy in your body, like if you eat something real bad, and when I take it, I'm just like, oh man, I feel a lot better so I've always taken like half the dose that I'm supposed to, but it really does help. And Alex takes it during the week, only when he has school. And his grades, everything, his behavior, everything is so much better. But then you're at that controversial, do I need to drug my kid? So we decided only for school.
Right.
And for me, only for work.
I think that's great. That way, you or anyone that doesn't just get accustomed to that feeling, because it is not a normal feeling.
No. And then anybody with a addictive, personality, you have to. And that's one thing with me is I've always struggled. Like, I know my genetics. I'm not going to blame it on anything, but it's easy for me to get addicted to things. And so I always have to manage it. I can't cold turkey not drink, can't cold turkey. I can, but I don't think it's realistic.
Right.
Like a little bit, but I have to be careful. Right. Like I know, it's good.
When I was taking Adderall, it was shortly after that I started having panic attacks.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that it messed up my nervous system.
Wow.
Just being on it. And then I would drink coffee, and I was getting shit done. Then the bitch started having panic attacks.
Yeah.
And
my buddy said the same thing.
Yeah. I wouldn't wish panic attack on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
I was like, when times I went to the hospital.
Dang.
Oh yeah, I thought I was dying.
When was this?
In Landon, he would be like, just go lay down. You're fine. I'm like, dude, I'm having a stroke. I have to go to the emergency room.
And nothing was wrong?
No. But it makes you feel like something's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you feel like your whole body is having this reaction.
Yeah.
And then, so that's when I actually like got on medication for anxiety.
Oh, anxiety medication.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how does that feel?
So it's a love-hate, right? Because my anxiety was so bad up until about 2.5 years ago that it was kind of debilitating for me at work. Because if I was going to get a new client, for some reason, I would get so anxious.
Oh, God.
And there was one time that I like literally had a panic attack mid doing a stranger's lashes.
And you felt it coming and...
Yeah. And so, oh, I forgot what I was supposed to say. What'd you ask me?
About anxiety.
Edit. I know, but what did you ask me about it?
Like, how does it feel? Like being on the medication.
Resume. Okay, so once I got on Lexapro, and the first week I was on it, my anxiety got worse, and I had literally went to the doctor again, and the doctor was like, "I promise you, take it for one more week and it'll be better." And sure enough, like within 3 days, I could feel it, like just this huge weight lifted off of my shoulders. So in that sense, I don't have the anxiety issues anymore. However, it also, Lexapro kind of makes you feel numb to a lot.
Yeah.
Like you don't care. And so initially when I got on it, I was on 10 milligram dosage. And then I upped myself around the time that my divorce initiated. I upped it just because there was a lot of stress. And just recently I had to go back down because I'm like, I don't give a shit about anything, like at all.
Yeah.
Which is also not good. I mean, it's great, especially going through like a really stressful time in life. It's great to not fully feel everything. But just here recently, I'm like, okay, I need to feel this and I need to just go through it.
Yeah. There's a negative effect to not
Absolutely.
feeling.
Yeah. And it got so bad to where, I mean, I noticed it myself.
Yeah.
So now I feel more at even kill. But I'm so thankful that I don't have the panic attacks anymore because I was ready to shut down my business. I was like, I don't think I could go on.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I think like, especially like even being on Adderall, like it can increase your anxiety.
Yeah.
I know I have anxiety. I know I have ADHD. I have OCD tendencies. I mean, but I think a lot of people have issues. You can't blame wrongdoings on everybody has issues.
Right.
You have to figure out how to manage it. Like when I'm driving down the road, like I'm like gripped onto my steering wheel and I'm just like, and I'm looking at everything has to be perfect. And I know this comes from grandma's side of the family where I have to have my, the stereo at the right setting. Everything has to be perfect. The sunroof has to be open or closed or whatever the mood is that day, like the right song. So I'm literally looking at everything. When I'm on my medication, it helps me pay attention to the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so but when I take my medication, anxiety comes more.
Right.
So you just have to learn you can't overdo medication. That's why I only take half. Because I just want it for what I need it for.
Right.
I don't want it to live.
Right.
Beer, alcohol can be a problem, right? I only drink it on the weekends. That doesn't make it right, but for me, it's a good balance. I will not touch it during the week.
That's good.
Like, not at all. Like, I don't care if we're going to do something. It's no drinking. I don't want to touch it. I have to have balance. And I think that's my biggest thing, my biggest key to life. Like, I know I have a good head on my shoulders and I'll continue to make the right decisions for the most part if I can balance out my habits, my bad habits. Like I can remember being in California in grade school and running to the lunch. Like I can remember the food that we ate because I was so excited to eat. I can remember loving food, and that now I look back at it, it's like that was part of my addiction. Like I've always been addicted to things. And food has been one of them. That's why I do what I do. That's why this podcast is called Forever Chubby, because I will constantly battle my food and my addictions my whole life. Mm-hmm. But, I'm thankful because it could be worse. It could always be worse. And I think some of it fuels me to do good in different areas. But it's funny because I can even remember being in Texas and middle school and at Strickland and running man, I was such a dork. Man, me and my buddy, who was such a dork too, we'd run all the way to the lunch cafeteria.
Who is it?
I didn't have any girlfriends.
The lunch lady.
Oh my gosh, man. We would run and just because we want to be the first ones in line so we didn't have to wait in line. Get the Crispitos. Crispitos with
so
cheese. Good. And what else were there?
See, in California, they had really good tacos, like elementary school.
I remember those.
Do you remember the pink and white swirl cookies?
No. I remember tacos, but it was like...
I mean, they looked nasty.
Yeah.
Looking back, but that was the best tacos
I
I've ever
loved
had.
them, but I remember I'm like, what is this? This is not ground beef.
It was so good, though. And every once in a while, I think about those cookies, and I Google to see if anybody's put the recipe online, and they haven't.
That's bad. That's forever chubby.
Yeah, for real.
No, but being, coming to Texas was a big, for me, it was a good thing. It was good. I think it was, I remember before I left California, I think of the things, I don't know who was watching us. I don't know, like mom maybe.
Me.
You.
It was either, because grandma worked at night.
But grandma left already. So there was a time where grandma left in 1993 to 95, so 2 years.
But Uncle Lester and Auntie Rhonda moved in that house. I don't remember exactly, but I feel like they lived with us before we moved out here. Yeah. Because they assumed that house once we moved.
I forgot about that. So they lived with us.
Yeah, we all lived together.
Yeah.
And Auntie Rhonda, she was a great, mother figure.
Yeah. I don't think I was headed in the right direction. Just thinking about the thing, I don't know.
I think we were probably both just lost.
Yeah.
Because you're at an age where you're developing your personality and trying to figure out who you are.
Yeah. And
then you really have no clue.
Yeah.
And California was very fast paced.
Yeah.
It's fast living.
Yeah.
And even now when I go back to California, I just feel different.
Yeah.
But I don't regret it. No. I think this was the best thing. I think Texas is a great place to raise children.
Yeah.
Especially where we were from in California. It was rough.
Yeah. What do you remember about your dad?
I don't have anything negative to say, about just me not having a relationship with my dad, because you can't miss something you've never had.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel like, I really missed out. I don't know. I'm pretty indifferent about it.
But not how do you feel about him, but what do you remember about it?
Oh.
About him.
Shit, not shit. Shit, his ass wasn't around.
Yeah.
One time he picked me up, and I think I was 8, and I made Mom go with me because I was too afraid to go with him by myself. And he took me to the mall, and I bought exclamation perfume.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And then when I was 20, I moved back out to California.
I remember that.
And I went to live with him to try and reconcile, to create some type of relationship with him. But at the time, Alyssa's dad, he was in jail in the town next to where my dad lived.
Yeah.
And I would sneak to go see him.
Yeah.
And my dad told me some pretty harsh words just about, what type of girl does that and what I was going to, amount to. And he was right. I got 2 kids by 2 different men. I was a hoe. But
it's a real life.
But yeah, but it doesn't define who I am or who I am as a mother, So I just don't have a huge opinion on him.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
He has other kids.
I was about to ask, does he have any other kids?
A lot of kids.
How many has he got?
So 8 total, and that's including 2 stepkids. But so my youngest sibling on my dad's side, Freddie, I believe he's 21 or 22 now, but he was born with cerebral palsy.
Oh, wow.
So although he was not a great dad to the rest of his children, and I'm just assuming, just from what I hear. But then again, he struggled with his own stuff. So it's like, not trying to knock him, but when Freddie was born, and he was born with a handicap, my dad, he showed up. And he's showed up ever since for my little brother. And I think that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm indifferent about it, but you can't miss something you've never had.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel about my dad. Like,
Yeah.
he could have done a lot more, right? But I will say that, this is the way I look at it. And since I've rekindled the relationship over there, which has been great, like for his daughters, it's mainly for the daughters and Alex being able to meet, now Gage. They love them. It's been real cool, and I think it's important for the daughters too. It's been very touching on their side.
To know their brother.
Yeah, because you got to think of how they may feel about the situation. That's a very awkward.
How old were they when they found out about you?
I don't know. I know. Remember when you had me call randomly when I graduated high school, and calling on the landline. Hey, you got a kid.
Dad.
I know they're just little, probably like 3 or 4. And then they reached out to me on social media. They said, hey.
Like when they were teenagers?
Yeah. I think they were teenagers. They were young. And it was like 2015. Alex was a baby. And then Dave reached out to me and was like, hey, and he was very respectful. He was like, hey, I've been wanting to reach out and I don't know how to do it. You got to understand it's probably awkward and hard. You got this family, you got this kid that you had, but you haven't been in touch with.
I'm sure there's a lot of guilt on his end.
There is a lot. And I've talked to him, and it's interesting because I talked to him about his dad and his parents, and I think he has a lot of resentment towards his dad. He loves his dad, but I think his dad kind of,
Was he the same, like a not present father?
Yes, okay. in a way, from what I remember, and but he's now having to take care of his dad, and I know there's some resentment, and so we talked about it, and again, I'm not going to say that he couldn't have did a lot better. He could have tried a little harder. He had to deal with mom, right. And I'm sure, and there's some things I heard about how she would call up to his work, and but again. For me, it's a lesson to me, no matter what, if that were to, like, especially what happened with me and Alex's mom is like, no matter what, it doesn't matter. And
what I have always admired about you, and I didn't understand it years ago, is that you have truly disregarded all the negative from you and Allie's relationship for the betterment of Alex.
Yes.
And I struggle doing that. Yeah. So, it's wonderful. I think you're such a wonderful dad.
Well, a lot of it's like what we went through, right? Like you either follow the same lead or you learn.
But that's good. That's exactly what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You're supposed to just be different for the next go round.
Yep. And
you
some
really
people
have.
don't.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And it's not been easy. Like I still struggle daily because I still feel the whole, like when we're raised to treat our friends better than our family.
Right.
That's what we saw. So that's what we do. And that's what's comfortable. And this whole family thing, I'm not saying it's not what I don't like it. I love it. And especially now, like I love to be home. But it's still a chore sometimes. Yeah. And I'm not afraid to admit that because it's reality. But it's because of how we were raised is when the kids are here, I want to be at work and working, and I have to put it aside, and I don't care if it's not natural. This is what I do. I have to be present.
A lot of that could be your ADHD because you get overstimulated when there's a lot of chaos in the house, and kids can be loud. And I agree because sometimes it's a struggle for me to like be present and enjoy all the blessings that I've ever hoped and prayed for, that I now have. And I'm just like, bitch, go enjoy it, you know? But it's like a switch in your mind.
Yeah.
And it could be from just, we were Well, they say if you were raised or you are accustomed to chaos, you don't know how to just be in a lull in
Yep.
life, you know?
That's
You
me.
don't know how to take it.
That's me and you.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of business owners, if you think
Yeah.
about it. A lot of business owners have trauma.
Yeah.
Or they have, and a lot of business owners have gambling addictions, addiction issues, and you have to have chaos in your life. And for me, I always, even when I get home, I'm like listening to a podcast, got the TV on, music going.
You're like creating your own shit.
And with the business, it's chaos every day. What's the numbers? How many numbers we can get today? Members, are they canceling? Why are they canceling? Let me work on this. Let me work on that. It's never a boring, like I don't have a regular day.
Right.
Now, I'm not complaining about that. I chose that life. But I think, like you said, it's chaos. Like we're raised in a chaotic environment, and that's what's normal to us.
And it's very sad.
Yeah.
Because I do see some people, and of course, I see a lot online. I know nobody's putting their shit out there. Everybody's only posting about the great stuff and the great times. But I just feel like it's a huge disconnect to just turn off from business owner to parent.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Like, my kids know when we get home, okay, we're chilling for 30 minutes. Nobody talk to me.
Yeah.
Because, I talk all day at work, and I love my clients, and I love everything about just, I love my job, but it is a lot mentally. And, you don't realize it until you're, like, done, and I'm, like, laying in bed at night thinking about,
You sound like me.
like, is Miss Sally okay? And I don't mean, I do have a Sally, and I'm not speaking about her in general, but you take on other people's shit, and then it's like, at 6 o'clock when I get home, oh, now I'm supposed to be mom. So that is one of my biggest, I guess, faults as a business owner and a mother, is for a lot of years, I didn't know how, and I didn't even recognize that I wasn't present for my kids like I was present for my job. And so you don't notice it right away. You notice it when you start seeing things in your kids, like in my little one. Can you please pay attention to me and put your phone down? I'm like, oh, shit. Shit. I'll
get that too.
And I'm thankful for the reminders, but it just makes me feel like crap.
Yeah. You have to battle it every day.
Yeah.
You're not going to be perfect. So when I went to co-parenting counseling with Allie for Alex, that was part of our court agreement for the custody agreement. And I'll never forget, this lady was great. And I think my brain is just open to learning. But either that or she was great or both. But she said that your children need 15 minutes of undivided attention consistently. So even if you only have them Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because you're a dad and it's custody rights, then on that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you give them 15 minutes of undivided attention. You don't break that. Don't get on your phone. And that's all they need. And after that, they have to understand that you do have work, and they have to learn that you do have other obligations in life. But if they have that 15 minutes, that everything, they will most likely not have trauma-related issues
like
later
abandonment.
in life. Attention issues or whatever. So that's something I always remember. I always have to work at it.
Yeah.
And I'm not great about it. I may feel like I don't want to do it, and I'm not afraid to admit this because it's a fault, and we all have faults. And it's not that I don't want to do it, but I'm just not naturally, and I see people that are naturally family people, and it inspires me to do better.
Yeah.
And it's, even with you, you've always pushed us to do things as a family.
As a family.
I love that. I've been bad at it.
Really bad.
Jayla always says, that I'll find a
reason to leave anywhere.
Yeah.
That does need to change. Just with us. Aaliyah's moving back.
Is she? Yeah.
You know where to?
Where?
Guess. Out of all the places in Texas that she could move to.
With mom?
No.
She moving to the hood?
Bitch is moving to Wichita Falls.
Oh, Jesus. Seems like a Wichita Falls
No.
girl.
I told her you got to inch your way back from Ohio.
Golly. What kind of black people live in Ohio?
Our sister. She's half white.
What kind of black people live in Wichita Falls?
I don't know. But that's where Mom is from, Ohio.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. But I'm glad that she's moving back because she loves doing family stuff too.
Yeah, she is.
She's great.
She's like this little
She's
angel
She
child
is.
out of all of us.
Yeah.
Sweet. I've never seen her mad. Not one
She's
time.
so wonderful. She really is. I'm glad she's moving back.
And she had a lot of trauma that she went through. And
She should be the worst off.
yeah.
But she's not. Or it just hasn't surfaced yet.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful. I'm thankful that she doesn't seem to be tainted by it all.
Yeah. What was the worst? What would you say was the worst point of your life with dealing with Mom's demons?
All through high school.
That was the worst part?
Yeah, maybe, let's see. Maybe 14, 15 through, maybe like 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
5 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, because it's, okay.
When Grandma passed?
Yeah, because we were still dealing with that then, We were still dealing with Mom's stuff.
Yeah.
And I think Grandma getting sick and just stuff that transpired during that time with Mom, I feel like Mom didn't really see exactly how the harm and everything she did until Grandma passed. I feel like that was a very pivotal time for her.
Yeah.
In her own self-reflection. Like we all have known, and we can tell her till we're blue in the face where we feel like she went wrong or whatever. But I feel like that was Mom's time where she was like, shit, I need to get my shit together. And she did say that was the last thing Grandma said to her.
Yeah.
Trina, you need to
get your shit together.
I think it was those exact words.
Yeah.
Probably not. She probably didn't say shit.
Yeah. She said it in Grandma's language. How was that experience with Grandma's passing? Now, obviously it was terrible, but I like to reminisce and just, it amazes me how that's what happens at the end of life. That is a common process. Like a lot of people get sick in hospice. Mm-hmm. For you, how was it dealing with that? Because I know your experience. I
don't want to cry.
I know your experience was different from mine. You had a very spiritual experience.
Like when she was actually passing?
Just the whole experience.
Oh.
How was it on you?
I don't want to cry, so I'm going to keep it real short.
Yeah.
It was an honor to take care of her.
Sure.
Because she literally gave her whole life taking care of us.
Yep.
So I was honored.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm thankful for COVID because it was right around the time that I had to shut my business down.
Yeah. Because
of COVID. And so that's the only way that I would have been able to go take care of her.
Yeah, you're there.
Both of us.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tried it, but I wasn't there like you were. Until...
But I was her favorite.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think y'all were closest, right?
Yeah.
I came in second.
But you were her actual favorite.
Well,
you're the only boy.
I think it was at the end, right? Like where you moved further away. I never did.
Yeah. You were.
So for me, it was so crazy because a year before she got sick, I think about my faults, Felicia. I know you probably don't think that I think that, but I think.
Well, I'm glad that you do.
And I think
and I
about
hope you
them.
Think about me sometime.
Always, shit. Sometimes it annoys the shit out of me. But I can remember that a year before she got sick, before we knew, I knew that I had a problem going to visit her, and I lived in the same city, and I didn't know why. Now I know more of why. So Grandma, at the end of her life, it's a sad life. She was very depressed. She was lonely. She didn't have anybody. She hoarded her stuff. So she kept, and that's a common thing with older people. She kept all that stuff in her house. It was always clean, hoarding. She didn't
Right.
have rats or anything. But even in high school, my friends always remembered, if they ever came over, they had to climb through the shit to get to my room. But she always had stuff in the house. She was lonely. She was depressed. And now I look back in hindsight and I'm like, it was hard for me to go over there because you got to be around your loved one that's depressed.
Yeah, it was a sad place to go.
It was a sad place to go, even though you knew you should go. So I made it a point because I'm good at work. If there's one thing I'm good at being consistent with work. So I knew that, and I'm like, I'm going to put her on my schedule every Sunday as a job.
Right.
And I did. And I missed one Sunday in a whole year. That's how.
So good. And you know what she loved? Because you guys would go bowling.
Yep. And she would
loved
always
it.
say this too. She'd always be like, if you're going to be too busy, it's okay. And that's so sad. And it's like, no, Grandma, I'm going to be there. I'll be there. And so honestly, that's how I figured out she was sick. Because I went over there one Sunday, football was on. So I turned on the football. I'll go over there, just hang out. I knew I had 3 hours. And as long as I was there and chatting with her, it was good. And I remember I'm watching football, and that's when I found out that she told me she could not walk to the mailbox anymore. She's like, yeah, I haven't been able to get the mail because, and then
I didn't realize that.
she had been telling me this, and then I'm like, Grandma, you need to get that fixed or checked. And then she also would tell, I think it was when she told me she couldn't get up to get her food.
Oh.
That's why I'm like, Grandma, get your ass up. We're going to the hospital.
I didn't know what initiated that trip to the ER.
It was that she first couldn't go to the mailbox, and that was my first notice of okay, there's some concern here. And then she couldn't get up to eat, and I said no. So I took her right then and there. There was no arguing. It was just like, Grandma, I'm taking you. Come on. Took her, and then I'm still watching football on my phone. I'm just getting her checked out. And then the nurse came over to me, and she was in, she got in all her, the ass is sticking out of the back. You got
her
gown.
Okay.
And the nurse comes over and says, can you come here real fast? And then she's like, did you know about this? And she showed me the tumor protruding out of her breast. Mm-hmm. And it was, you could see it because she'd been putting rubbing alcohol on it.
Grandma knows what works.
Old school.
Yeah. Alcohol and Neosporin.
And I'm like, Grandma, what the hell? You didn't tell me. I didn't want to bother anybody. It's fine. And that was the start of it all. Because
that was October 13th.
Yeah.
Of 2019. I remember that day.
Yeah. It was on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. And they knew right then it was stage 4. Yeah. When you have a tumor protruding out. And then, came to find out she went to go get a mammogram, and she doesn't believe in mammograms. Because
they're going to cause breast cancer, she said.
Yeah.
She wanted a thermal scan. And whatever doctor she went to said, no, I need you to get a mammogram. And so she refused and went home.
Yeah. Did you know about that?
No, not until she was sick. I mean, I didn't know anything. See, I was pregnant right before she got sick. And so I didn't go over there a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I remember...
Oh, yeah, you had Sky.
Yeah. I had Sky just a month before we found out she was sick. She had... I forgot what I was going to say. What did you ask? I need to make sure I answer this properly.
No, you're fine. About her getting sick and at the hospital. That time you didn't come over that much because you were pregnant?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of what initiated me to even say this. Anyways. I don't remember. I don't remember where I was going with that.
Fine. But so the whole process to me, I look back at it and it's super sad because I'm not a very religious or spiritual person. I still have Grandma on my favorites list to call.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of spiritualness to me, but the whole just realize. So we had to witness this young, right? Because a lot of people when they're 50s and 60s have to go through this with their parents.
Right.
She didn't have the kids to do that. So we had to step up in our 30s. And you were 40 at the time?
I was 37.
Okay, I was 32.
I had Sky right when I turned 37.
Yeah. So we both had to witness that pretty young, right? And that's what happens. And to me, I never forget you telling me your experience and just how it was so beautiful because there was cardinals and stuff, like the red birds.
Oh, the day that she passed, before she passed, I went outside on the porch and a red bird flew away from the window that she was next to inside.
And that was her favorite bird in color. For me, and I hate that I look at it this way, but I look at it as this is the way humans go.
Right.
And this is the process. And you bring them home because they are going to die, okay? You put them in a bed and you say, for peace, really you pump drugs in them so they don't feel pain, and you got to drug them, and you had to do this. And then it's like you have somebody telling you, yeah, that's okay, give them more. You're basically, me and you, like helping her pass.
Yes.
You have to look at it as a beautiful thing. But for me, to watch your loved one right next to you, you have to stop your life and you have to watch somebody slowly pass. I just think back at it, I'm like, God dang, that was such a traumatic, and that's how it happens.
Yeah.
That's reality.
I had, because I used to work with the elderly when I was younger, and I would see, like, in the nursing homes, like, the people come visit, and I would hear about hospice, and I just assumed it was, like, these angels that are going to come, pat my back while I'm saying goodbye to my grandmother, and no. It was not like that at all. But also this could be because it was at the very beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
But they stopped coming. It was the charge nurse that did a once weekly check-in.
Yeah.
They came to refill the medicine.
Yep.
But literally, the week that she was transitioning, there was nobody. I was like, hello? Like,
Yeah.
is anybody going to tell us what's going on? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
And it was very sad, but I also think that it, I don't want to say she did okay because I know she was in pain, but she never showed any symptoms of pain until the week before she passed. I literally remember you were like, hey, she looks like she's in pain.
Yeah.
And that's when we started morphine.
Yeah. And it's like, how much? And then all of a sudden you're getting text from the nurse. No, you can give her more. And it's like, I'm sitting here watching this. I'm like, this is fucking how it goes.
Yeah. I remember specifically talking to the nurse maybe the day before she passed. And he said, you can give her up to this. And when we were giving it to her and she still seemed to be in pain, I was like, okay, like, I'm going to go max. I don't want her to be in pain. She was already not herself by that time. And I remember I gave her last dose at 10:15 p.m. On April 19th.
Yeah, I remember. I was there.
Yeah.
And
it was quick. I mean, she died at 10:45.
Yeah. And that song playing, the Elvis Presley.
Yes.
And to some people, it might be a beautiful thing. For me, I didn't never want to fucking hear that song again.
Yeah.
Because it's just... It takes me back to one of the worst moments in my experiences of being alive. It's like, because she's like a mom to us, right? And but one thing is, like, she was in pain, so it's good because now she doesn't have to be in pain.
Right.
She didn't feel that, but at the same time, it's like, it's just somebody you love that's there. You have no other choice but to do that and help them pass. It was very traumatic for me.
Yeah.
And I look back and I just think, I'm like, God, that, if we're lucky, we get to go that long.
Right.
Instead of just...
I don't want to live till I'm 80.
I
don't.
I don't know if I do.
I just want to live till my kids, like, find their people in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be a burden. And not that Grandma was a burden, because she particularly wasn't. But I am around a lot of people whose parents are getting old, and I feel like it's such a burden for them.
They become a burden, Felicia.
I know. Well, I know.
And it's not it's the cycle of that's the cycle of life. Like you start in diapers and then you end in diapers and
But I feel like with grandma, it wasn't a burden to me. I was happy to do it.
of course.
But
And you did it well, and we both hung in there. You were a lot better than I was.
no, I mean, like, we were a team because if I couldn't come or I couldn't stay the night, you did. I mean,
Yeah.
you moved into our house to be there at night.
Yeah, but it was and this is a reality. It's so tough because people are older, and we have families now. We have lives. We
Yeah.
have work, and then you try to balance out going, and then you have the guilt
Yeah.
of being annoyed that you have to go do it when you feel like you shouldn't have to be annoyed because it's your loved one, but you have to be because you're being taken away from your family. It sucks.
See, I remember telling Landon, do not count on me for anything during this time. Like, I'm going to go to work
Yeah.
and go to my grandma's.
Yep. And then
And that's exactly how my life was. Like, looking back, actually, because I had just had Sky, I had got on Lexapro then for like postpartum depression.
yeah.
And I think I didn't feel a lot then either. I was just on autopilot. It was a time where I was just on autopilot.
Yeah.
Because it's, you don't think about it, you just have to do it.
It was super traumatic for me, but that's how life goes, and that's why it's so important to have family.
Yeah.
Because I've learned and I'm around a client now that's 79 years old. She reminds me of grandma, and she's so good with family, and I think that's so important because when you get to that age, you've got to have that bond. Or
Yeah.
some people go through that and they don't have anybody.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
We
So-
definitely need to. I wish we can get together once a month, but I know that Alexa's far. I mean, we all live kind of far.
Yeah,
And then Jayla's in Florida.
yeah,
So it's difficult. And I live an hour from you. We live an hour from Alexa.
yeah.
It's just difficult.
Yeah, and I need to do better at it, and you've done great at it. So what do you think about? I want to talk to you because you're an entrepreneur and you're a female, and I've always respected that. Like, how hard has it been for you to be a business owner, being a female?
I've never thought about it as far as being a female. Like, that has never crossed my mind of, is this harder? But I'm also in the beauty industry.
Yeah,
So I'm sure if I was in a different field where it was male dominant,
yeah,
it may be harder, but I mean, my field is female dominant.
yeah. So you've never felt like you're like being taken advantage of, being a female.
No.
You've always had good experiences, and you just
I've had some bad experiences, but I mean, nothing that isn't just typical, can't make everyone happy.
yeah,
And I've had to just be okay with that over the years.
yeah,
And it really isn't until I opened my large lash salon in 2022.
yeah,
And so I had that for 3 years. And that was the worst mistake I ever made, I think, of my career, because it took the joy out of it.
yeah.
Because my overhead was so expensive.
Yep.
But
you were trying to grow, right?
Yeah, and I didn't. I had a few different employees over those 3 years, but I'm very picky. And, I mean, you have to look the part. You have to be personable. There's just a whole thing. And also, I'm just hard to please.
Yeah.
So, I had a couple good ones, but nobody's going to love your business like you do. Mm-hmm. No, nobody is, period.
Yeah.
And I was never able to like stop lashing so I can actually run my business.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, I'm going to create all these mini Felicias to do all the great lashes for people. And then because I really love, the business side of it,
Yeah.
but I never really got to do that. So it was like, shit, I don't know when the last time I opened QuickBooks is,
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that I failed at it, but I closed it because I'm like, okay, I can't do this right now.
I think you're in the right direction. I don't think that's a failure. I think it's just a test.
It was my dream, and
Yeah.
it turned out to not be my dream. So for probably the first 10 years of my business, I went all in. I mean, in the very beginning, I drive to Plano to do somebody's lashes for $60.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was literally just putting gas in my car so I can, go to the next appointment. So it started off, very minimal. And I always knew, because I initially started working at the Lash Lounge in Flower Mound.
Okay.
That was who gave me my first go at lashes. And I was like, I want to own one of these one day.
Yeah.
And so obviously I didn't own one of those, but I, opened up my own, and it just sucked the life out of me. But I had heard so many people say prior that were salon owners. They're like, oh yeah, I did. It was horrible, and I'm so glad I don't own the salon anymore. But it's something I needed to do for Felicia.
Sure.
And I did it, and I'm like, I used to look at all these other lash artist photos, and be like, I'm never going to be as good enough as, as good as them. And I really had to just stop, because I went to a training with a girl, paid like almost $3,000 for her training. And I left, and I was like, this bitch don't know any more than I do,
Yeah.
And so it's like I immediately stopped paying attention to what I thought was a competition or somebody who was intimidating to me.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went on my own little voyage as, the owner of Lash Fort Worth, and just really started connecting with clients. And I don't advertise. I haven't advertised maybe since year one.
Oh, wow.
It's always been word of mouth.
Yeah.
So I came to the conclusion in the last couple of years, I'm like, you know what, Felicia, you did it. You wanted to be a sought after lash artist. You wanted to be the it girl in Fort Worth. Mm-hmm. And once I became that, I'm like, why doesn't this feel good? What is missing? And it's like, so I have always had fulfillment from my clients. But now my mindset is I just want to be a good mom and raise good, wholesome kids.
Yeah.
And so I am no longer the entrepreneurial type that I was with my business. Now I still have other business ideas.
Yeah.
But as far as like growing my lash business, I won't anymore.
You still want to deal with it all?
I want to do it, but I don't want to grow it.
Yeah.
I'm content. It provides a comfortable life.
Yeah.
And, more money, more problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
But that's great, because that's in business. If you want to grow, I think you had the right idea. I don't think should be something you never go back to. And that's just, you went through the experience. I didn't, but I'm thinking about, for me, what you want to do if you're trying to scale a business is you want to have people, many Felicias, to grow for you. And it's all about the training, right? Training. So it may have been just a lack of experience, or just maybe how you're just picky, and maybe that interfered. Because the reality is, if you can train them to be better than you, and even if they're not better, if they're similar to you, then you can sit back and you can do your QuickBooks, and people do it for you. But again, that doesn't mean you have to go there.
Right.
I
know that I'm capable of it. And I think just knowing that, okay, you've opened this large lash salon. You have, I think the most I had at one time work for me was like 3 people, which was great. All my beds were full. One of them was amazing, and the other 2 were newer. Mm-hmm. And but here's the thing within my business, and I feel like maybe COVID played a part in it. But people want to make money, a lot of money, with little to no experience, just anywhere in life, that's right? So crazy. And so it was hard for me, because it's like, I paid 40% commission plus tips, and people are like, well, you shouldn't pay that much. Okay, well, I want them to stay. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I wasn't getting rich off anybody. I was just making my overhead. Yeah. Right. So when I had the 3 people working, and they weren't all full time, but that was covering my overhead. But then it's like, well, one of the girls came in, and the client said she smelled like weed. It's like, okay. I don't care what you do when you get off, but please don't get high before you
Yep.
come lash.
That's one of the many
You know, it's
problems.
just bullshit like that.
Yeah.
And there was another girl, loved her to death. She was wonderful, but she was like, okay, this client, you know, hasn't been in for 3 weeks and 1 day. They need to be paying this, you know. And it's like, yes, in theory, okay, but Miss Sally is here now for her 1 hour appointment. Just make the money.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're not going to turn Miss Sally away.
Yeah.
But so she was more of a stickler than I am, and I'm more about don't chase the dollar will come,
Yeah.
you know, if you're doing business properly.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I was like, fuck it, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
I can't deal with people.
Because you have to manage people. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and I'm very much like, just do what I say and don't question me,
Yeah.
period. And that obviously doesn't work too well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it would be, so again, it just depends on what you want. There's no right way. It's just what's better for you. Like the fact that you're trying to balance out, you know, family right now, that's better than anything, I think. And that's where I'm trying to go too. And I'm trying to scale my business at the same time. So it's just chaos.
But you have a large employee base, right? You have a lot of people working for the dollar.
Yeah.
And obviously they're happy because they've been with you a long time.
Yep.
And so I never got to that point because I really never got to work the business.
Yeah.
Like it needed to be.
And it annoyed you super fast the minute you tried it, which is understandable.
But you know, so
I've learned to manage everybody differently, and it works well.
see, and I'm not.
Like I had a guy late recently, and you know, Lauren's like, you need to call him, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. I text him, and obviously, you never want to just text somebody and just like, hey, don't be late. So I text him. I said, hey, please, don't be late. I said, if it keeps happening, obviously, I'm gonna have to meet with you.
But why? Oh wait, an employee
Was late
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about.
to a session,
Okay.
and that can be turned into issues.
I thought you meant a client was.
No, it was a trainer.
Okay.
And I'm like, please don't be late. Now, first of all, I know not to write a huge long text message. That's never a good thing.
Right.
No matter who you're writing that long text. So I made sure it was, reasonable. I said, please don't be late. And I said, if you keep having to be late, obviously I have to do my job and schedule a meeting with you and be over dramatic and tell you the exact same shit that I'm telling you right now.
Right.
LOL. Put LOL in there. And really, this guy needs to not be late. But I said, just please don't be late, and we're good. And his response was good. He was like, I'll make sure I step it up so we don't have to get to that point. That's it.
Has he been good since?
Well, it just happened, so we'll see. But here's the thing is, I'm trying to think, because I know time management it's an issue for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. All my trainers are really talented, and I don't want to lose somebody because of their time management. So I'm trying different ways to explain to them, like, hey, man, there's a reason why I have to tell you not to be late. Okay. And if you really think about it, you know why I don't want you to be late. You know why it's detrimental to the business. It's a service-based business. Somebody may love training with you, but if you're always 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes late, you're fucking up their schedule. And then it makes it awkward between the client and the trainer because they don't want to say anything. They don't want to get them in trouble. They know that. So I just have to remind them, hey, because I can't have anybody late because then I have to fire you and I really fucking like you.
Right.
I tell them that. I'm like, I have to fire you because this machine is bigger than me. This is going to keep going. It's my responsibility to keep the ship going. Mm-hmm. And if I don't fire you because you've been late every session for the last 3 months, that's on me.
Right.
And I've had other issues to where I'm like, dude, just you can't do this again because it's just my job. You got to go, and I hate it because you've been fucking with me for 6 years, and you've been great. You've been with me 7 years, but I have to. So that's your decision from here, and I'll treat it just like that.
Do you ever get involved with them on a deeper level? Like, hey, is there something going on that I can be of assistance? Are you good?
I could probably do better, but I do keep it real with them. But I don't try to overly be friendly because I let them choose that. Because I'm not going to be like, hey, man, I always ask them, how was your weekend and stuff like that? What's up, man? Like, it's all different for everybody with some of my female trainers. But I all try to think of them and respect them because they're on my front line. They're there when I can't be there.
Right.
And I want them happy. And I want to make sure I treat them right. But I also, if they're going to screw some things up, I need to remind them, say, hey, please, quit fucking shit up.
And Jayla's FaceTiming me.
Is she? But that brings me to Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift.
Look, I could give two fucks about Taylor Swift.
But the entrepreneurship in her. So you don't like her?
No.
Why not?
I just think, I don't know.
You don't know?
I just don't like her. I don't care for her.
You don't care for who she is? Or
I mean, I don't know her.
Well, obviously.
I knew her persona.
What do you not like? Is she annoying?
I think she acts like a victim.
I've heard this
of all
before.
of these men.
Yeah.
And it's like, bitch, you've made a lot of money off of them.
Yeah.
Off of your heartbreak, regardless of who caused it. Like, move on.
Yeah. Now, I've heard that before, and it's been from other women. But what I love, and I'm getting it off of entrepreneurship, being a woman, because that's what you are. I really respect that because it's a tough business world out there. And she is just, from my opinion, she is a genius. Like the way she writes her songs, the way she's morphed from country and then into pop, and then just the way she manages her image. And she has really flocked to women. And I'm not going to keep you too much longer, but she has if you think of it, she has a cult now of women. And it's so smart. And I love her ambition. I'm not 100% on her politics. I don't give a shit about that. Like,
see, I don't even know what her politics are.
Well, she's very liberal, hates Trump. And I'm not a Trump lover, but I do like some of the things that they're doing. But I would never dislike somebody just because of politics. Like,
right.
And, but I just think she's so good for the female entrepreneurship category.
See, and I've never thought about her as an entrepreneur.
I mean, she's a billionaire.
Yeah, off of her music.
I mean,
yes, but what we see is a performer, right? Like, so I don't view her as somebody. I feel like she has really wonderful people running her business.
I mean, that could be true, but
I'm singing, which I'm sure is, she puts her heart and soul into it. I just don't see her as an entrepreneur.
I mean, here's my thing. There's not a lot of billionaires. And then let's narrow that down. There's not a lot of female billionaires.
Right.
And then if you think about it, who is the biggest thing since Michael Jackson? Who?
I'm not saying Taylor Swift.
It's her. Yeah, I'm not saying she's as talented, but who is bigger when you go for the ticket and you try to go get a Taylor Swift Eras Tour ticket? What is bigger?
Yeah. No, I get it.
So that doesn't mean you have to like her or whatever, but there's something to that.
Well, yes.
And the
because,
way
she's talented. She is talented.
Yeah.
And I don't take that away. I just don't care for
Katy
her.
Perry's talented, but there's no Eras Tour ticket like Taylor Swift. I don't sit there and listen to Taylor Swift songs, but I just am so fascinated with how she manages everything.
But I also think it's easier for her. Like, Katy Perry has children, right? Taylor Swift doesn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and you could also go into like dissecting. Is Taylor so broken inside that it's never enough? She has to keep on going. You know, being this teeny bopper and she's almost 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that she settles down. But I know that her money is coming from the young girls. So she has to appeal to them.
Look at all the inspiration she does for those young girls. So instead of looking at it as, she's making all this money off that and she doesn't have kids, I look at the other side, I'm like, look what she's been able to make. But yeah, I just think she is inspirational for the way she has morphed her life. And she's done it a lot herself. She's written all her songs. I'm not talking about the type of music, but just all of her choices.
Yeah, I've never thought about her on that scale.
I mean, but you just have to look at who is bigger than Michael Jackson in the music industry, and nobody comes close until Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you hate her or like her, she is.
I'd be like Beyonce as well.
Beyonce's right
I
up
don't
there.
like her.
Yeah, like no, but anyways, yes, it was great to have you on. I love you.
Thank you.
I'm hoping we can do this again. I'm hoping
Yeah.
the mic was working for all of it. We'll have to see. Okay. But I love you, and then we'll get back on soon.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you.
Bye.